So today we're going to go over the demonstration and setup of the ThermaCor mass transfuser that we use here at Loudoun Hospital. So first of all, you want to power on your machine. So you see your power button down here on the bottom left. You got to hold it for 1 second. Alright, and it'll just run a self-test. And as it's running a self-test, I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine this way, and this is a cartridge that just protects the components in the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and open the lever to our unlock position, and we're going to let it just stay to the side. You never want to throw this piece away because it's used to protect the components here. This is our kit here you're going to find in the supply closet in the ICU. Within the kit, there's 3 components. First one on top is going to be your cartridge. The third component is going to be your triple spike, and it also serves as the blood filter. And the last component is your patient line. Again, we have our cartridge here, our triple spike and blood filter, and patient line. And as you can see, everything's color coded. Your patient line is red, and then we have our triple spike here with the blue, and our cartridge, everything's color coded so you know where everything hooks to. So I'm going to go ahead and start the setup portion of the lines in the filter in the cartridge. So we're going to go ahead first what you want to do is get your cartridge, take it to your machine. You're going to put it in at a 90-degree angle. These 2 notches here should line up with this bar on the bottom. And if you come here on top of the machine, you can see lock. That's your lock position where the arrow is pointing to. That's your load, and that's your unlock. So you want to have it in load, push your cartridge in snugly, and then turn it to the lock position. Okay? Then you're going to go here to this lever, you're going to open it up, and you're going to push this rubber piece in all the way back because you don't want it to get pinched and you don't want to cut the line, and close it. Okay? Then you're going to take your triple spike, make sure everything's clamped. Doesn't matter which one you hook it up to. I typically go with this one here. Go ahead and spike your fluids. And here's where you go blue to blue with your caps. Everything just snaps together. Yellow to yellow. Now with this yellow one, you want to take just the top portion off. Like that. Yellow to yellow. Then red to red. Get your patient line. Okay, so once you have all your lines hooked up, what you're going to do is, this filter's a little wet, so I'm going to have to take this little piece off the top and fill this 3/4 of the way. Normally you won't have to because normally your filter will prime automatically. Because our demo kit, this filter is wet, you have to take the top off and fill it up. So once you have that chamber filled, you want to hit the prime button, and it's going to prime your cartridge. Okay, so our cartridge is primed, and then the second time you're going to hit it, it'll stop automatically. You're going to press and hold prime, and you're going to prime your patient line. You're just looking to make sure that there's no air bubbles in there. And once your patient line is completely primed, you're ready to hook up to your patient. This whole process should take less than a minute. They're all primed and ready to go. If your patient comes with a little extension, the skinny extension set, you're going to want to remove that and get the larger extension set. You want an 18 gauge or larger, or if you don't have an 18 gauge, an introducer or a cordis line is preferable over a central line. So try to, I know here mainly we work with peripheral IVs, so you want to do an 18 in the AC or larger. So you want to remove this cap, hook up to your patient, and you're ready to go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the functions of the machine. we're hooked up to our patient, and now we're ready to infuse. So here you have rapid and slow. Rapid is in mLs per minute, slow is in mLs per hour. We're going to want to go for rapid. So I'm going to go ahead and hit rapid. It'll automatically default to 500 mLs per minute. And it's blinking, so it's wanting you to go ahead and hit start. So when it's blinking, hit the start button. It's going to default to the 500. These are gray, these gray toggle arrows right here. You can go ahead and toggle up. The maximum speed is 1200 mLs per minute. Now we're probably not going to see that here much. There's a quick reference guide here. If you look into it, it'll show you your catheter sizes and how fast the blood can, or the fluids can flow through that catheter. I'm not going to go through that all right now, just to know that it's here for your reference. But typically, from our experience, an 18 gauge will run at a maximum speed at 200 or 250 mLs per minute, which doesn't seem that high compared to 1200 mLs per minute, but it can put a unit of blood in within a few minutes. So let's say you have a unit of blood running right now and it's pretty much infused into the patient and you don't want to draw air into your line. You can just go ahead and hit slow, start, and the slow will automatically default to 120 mLs per hour. Now it also has, and here you can toggle up the speeds of your slow rates as well. It also has bolus options, 100 and 250 and a 500 and 1000 ml bolus option. So you can go ahead and hit one of those. If you're giving a bolus, again, hit start, and once it's done, it'll stop and automatically go back to your slow mLs per hour. Just some other things about the machine. There's a max pressure button up here. It doesn't go any higher than 300 millimeters per mercury. It senses the IV catheter you're using and doesn't go any higher than that. There is an option for 100 millimeters of mercury, but that would be for pediatrics. Also, your machine should remain plugged in at all times, but if for some reason it's not and you're on a road trip with it, it does have a battery life up to 2 hours, but the heating option will not work. This is a mute button if something alarms. And I'm just going to troubleshoot a couple things here so you can see where your alarms show up on the monitor. So right now it's saying fluid supply is blocked. Half the time it's because you have something clamped. So go ahead and hit your start button once you fix the alarm, and then you're back on track. So on the top it shows you which mode you're in. We're in rapid. It tells you that the heat's on. You can also turn the heat off if you want, just press and hold. And that is the temperature, the 440 degrees Celsius. That is the pressure of the catheter right now, that the 292 millimeters of mercury. And this is gonna, on the bottom right, it's gonna show you the total. Okay, so the bottom right screen shows the total mLs infused, so it's going to keep a track from the time you start. And just a little side note is that this whole filter here can take up to 100 units of blood, packed red blood cells. And that about sums up everything that we need to know today, and thank you for your time.